next part now will be to machine this here slot in here and through here. This here slot here will be 20 degrees off of the 90 degrees mark here. That 20 degrees that way there, and that will be cut on this workpiece here. And I could put this on my rotary table as we did before, and I can turn the rotary table 20 degrees and do that kind of machining. But I'm not the kind of person where it's a one tool does all things type person. I like a lot of different tools to work with. And so I have a swivel vise back here that I could use. So I decided I'm going to use my swivel vise now and put that to good use in this next part of the machining. And I'm going to use that to turn the workpiece, set up at 90, and then turn it to 20 degrees and do the cutting and things, and that's coming up next. I have some angle parallels lined up here, a 5 degree and a 15 degree to give my 20 degrees. And what I'll be doing is I'll be lining this up this direction here on my surface plate. I'll be making a mark across here. That will be my 0 degree 0 degree mark. And then by rights, if I were to take this and I were to tilt it up on top of here, I should have my 20 degrees off of the 0 and then make a mark here, and that should establish both this mark here and that mark there. And I need these reference marks is because I'm going to be able to use those reference marks to line up my swivel vise with when it goes to doing the line up with that. Now these will just move back and forth here, so I have a little bit of a trick that I do here to keep them together real quick. I just use a piece of masking tape, and I just put them together. I just tape them together on the back side here a little bit. That's about all I need right there. And now they're together. Then what I'll do is I'll just line that up with a couple 1, 2, 3 blocks. All I need is probably just one like that. And then I can hold that at that angle, and then I'll be able to mark that with my surface gauge, or with my gauge there. When I get that tight up, you'll mark that across here like that then. Alrighty. Got a couple 1, 2, 3 blocks clamped together here. Give me some support. I'll put that there. And I have a line drawn here where I want to be pretty close to where I want that there to make a mark at. And I'll line that up to that mark there a little bit. Tighten the gauge on. Make sure we're nice and tight on the angle here. And then scratch that mark across here. No, that's the wrong direction. That's not the right direction, that's for sure. Try this again. This has to go the other direction, this way. Line up with my mark here. Tighten the dial. Here's a mark. And I'll scratch a mark in this way here. Now I'm at my 20 degrees off of the other reference. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on there, so I can see that better on there. At least it's going in the right direction now. Okay. Nice and tight here and there. And mark it. There we go. And now the next mark will be this direction here. And I will keep the cameras rolling here a little bit and just come down until I get it to my other mark here. It's about half of the distance. Up a little bit, about right there. Lock it. And then just swing across this way now. Alright, there we go. There's the angles. That will come across here and then up to there, and then that will clamp in. Let's see, that's going to be enough. Yeah, that should be enough there. Oh yeah. Alright, let's go to the swivel vise now and get that set up now. Okay, I'm using a parallel in there to give me a smooth surface to work off of. I have both of the bolts on here loosened up so I can tap the vise at an angle. Okay, that's good right there. Just a little bit of play in the table here. I should I'll tighten that up on the x-axis here a little bit. It's on the y-axis. I'll tighten it up on the y a little bit here. There we go. I'll tighten up on the y a little bit. Now I'm having table movement. That's good. Now we'll do it. Okay, it's staying good. Just a little bit high here. Just give it a bit of a tap. Alrighty, that's it right there. So what I can do now is tighten down the bolts on the vise. Alright, that's it. That's what you want. Everything's tightened down now. It's tight here now. Ready to go. Now the reason why I had to scratch those lines in there is because that's the actual reference lines that I'm going to be using there to line up on my vise, or on my mill here. When I get the cutter in there, here's the reason why. The axis of rotation of the vise is right here in the middle. It's right here in the center of it. So I would have to have the workpiece in the center here to actually go a true 20 degrees of vise movement to get this in line on the y-axis. Okay, I'm going to be clamping way out here, so there is no 20 degree change on vise here to get this line, because it's not even on the axis of movement of the vise. Again, if it was in the center, I could use 20 degrees on here. But instead, because it's way out here, there's a completely different rotation now. So I'm just going to have to swing this vise around until I get it to line up with my cutter in the either X direction or Y direction. It depends on which way I choose to cut this, and probably in the X direction, because it looks like the shortest amount of turn of the vise. It'll make sense once I get it clamped up here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I have my vise set up here, indicated in. I want to get the straight line first, the 90 degree cut first. I have it set up here in my vise this way here, and I gave myself just enough room in here that I can get an 1/8 inch bit inside there without hitting my vise. And so now what I'll do is I will get this lined up on my line there, and then I will stop right here at the intersection and go back and forth and cut this part first, and then I'll come inside here, and then I will turn the vise to match it, to turn the vise until it matches, the cutter matches this line right here, whatever degrees that is that we said before, and then do the cutting there. And that's what's coming up next. Okay, I'll drill this here hole first and get that taken care of first. I have a little bolt here, nut set up here with a jack screw, and let's get to work on this. I'm using a whole headstock Z-axis, so I have the quill and everything locked here again in the milling machine mode, and just using the whole Z-axis now to do the drilling. tires a little bit at a time, like that. If I feel any pressure, then I just leave off on a little bit, let it catch up. But that's drilling nice and smooth. It's a 2-flute 1/8" end mill. And again, I don't have any end mill holders for 1/8" bits made yet, so I have to use the drill chuck for that. But for this kind of milling, it's okay with a small bit like this here. I have no problems with it. Okay. Yeah, I'll touch off here now. Back off it. I'm going at slow speed right now on the spindle speed just to feel my way here, see how this is going to work out. And I'll speed the spindle speed up. I'm satisfied with the cut. Okay, let me just speed go faster now. I'm using a 2-flute end mill. Okay. Next movement now is to move the vise in the direction that we can get this now lined up with the x-axis, this line right here now. Okay, that's it right there. Okay, there's the line right there. Alright. Okay, we can always put it back in place if we needed to. Let's just give it a try and see how it works. We'll get that all cleaned out and then we'll give it a try and see how it clamps. Crude quick test run here. Just use a little socket like this. I'll slide over like that. Okay, now I have a handle like this here on the top here. I can use for my depth gauge. Alright, so that concludes the machine for today. I wanted to get this here bracket made. The next part of it now will be to machine the handle here now for this to sit down inside, because we want this to touch the bottom of this now all the way down, and of course that's going to be through like that. So let me just get this adjusted here. Okay, so what we're going to do now is next session is going to be machining this down, so this is down to here, so we can touch this to here when this is flat to here like that, and that'll be the next machining. Okay, there we go. So that takes care of that. That works good. That's just a temporary bolt there, but I'll be probably making a handle like this of some sort, back and forth. Okay, that's all for this evening.